Alright, so I'm going to show you how I made an animal in Narrative. So I started off by coming down here and finding the NPC. So BP Narrative NPC, I copied that and I pasted it over here into my narrative characters animals folder. And I did that to make a base narrative NPC so that I could make these slight adjustments to the way the NPC works. So like all of this is the way it's basically done. I came in here and on the on damaged by ability, when it checks if it's the player or not, I added a damage causer. So this is the last damage causer, and then it just continues on. And it clears this out if it fails. So if it's not a player, it clears it. If it is a player, then it'll save it. So that when you die, you can add experience to the player. The mesh and the animation are both set to none. And that's the only difference in my NPC base. So let's make a new folder. I'm not 100% sure what this thing is called, so I'm going to call it the Mega Spine. And let's add the NPC definition and character asset. So BP animal NPC Mega Spine. And then we're going to open that up. I had a typo there. I like to give it a little bit of a range so that I can see different ones. We're going to allow multiple instances. The NPC path, that's what we're going to change to our animal base. Well, actually, we want to make a child of that. And then use the Mega Spine. Okay. For the configuration on my other ones, I went ahead and made an animal one. So you can grab the defaults, copy that, and then paste it in here, rename, open this up, and then in here, the reason why I made a special one of these for my other animals is so that I could come in here and change the melee attack. So grab this, copy it, paste it in here, and the reason why we wanted to change this is because, where was it? Let's see. Maybe this isn't the one I actually changed, but I made one anyway. Well, so this does have to do with the goal and stuff later, but that is not where I changed it, is it? Let's leave that as default for now. And then in here, the appearance asset, go ahead and set this up. Form, we could create a form. I'm just going to leave it as male for now. It's going to get the narrative character visual. The base mesh is going to be the mega reason why I had to make... So this one's a little complicated. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So that, and then unhide, and then we're gonna want to make our animation. Oh boy. Okay. So this animal is a little more complicated than the other ones that you would normally do because of the way that they set it up. So I'm gonna use the base blueprint real quick. So on my mesh, this is on the NPC character that we made. I'm gonna add the mesh in, and then I still gotta make the animation blueprint. But this guy that I'm making has a bunch of pieces, so I gotta add those real quick. Okay, you can't see it because he's not visible, but if I add his visibility in, it's all the way up there. Because he's huge. I forgot how huge this guy was. But that's okay, because we're going to downsize him. Ooh, that was too small. We do have a small version of this guy as well, but I don't want him too big, but I don't want him too small either. And then we're going to come up here to the capsule component real quick and change this so that it contains him. Okay. And then we're going to come back and set the visibility back to being like that. Okay. So, and then we got to make his animation. Okay, so for his animations, I don't have a blueprint just yet. See, I got all the animations, but no blueprints. So we're gonna make the I want a legacy blend space, just a 1D, and we're gonna make it real simple. Let's see, BS for blend space. Mega lookup motion. Okay, so open this up. Let's see, speed 600, snap to grid. vital. And then we want walk. Sprint. Run. What do you have? Walk, 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 walk. Turn, turn, turn. Do you not have anything but walking? Okay. He don't have a run. Okay. And then so we got our blend space. Now we need an animation blueprint. I can't spell today, guys. And then in here, we're gonna make it real simple. Check if it's valid. If it is valid, we want to get the velocity. And then get the length of that. And that will be your speed. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff on the screen, don't I? Okay. And then that's all we need for that. That's actually pretty simple. And then come to the anim graph. And then we'll call this locomotion. And because of the way we're doing this, all we gotta do is plug this into here. Come on, plug it in there. Okay. And then come back out to the anim graph. We want to add the default slot so that our animations work, because if you play an animation in the default slot and your thing isn't plugged into it, it won't run. And then there's that. Okay, and then we want to come in here and get our anim BP mega. Okay, so now he's animated. You can't see him properly because I hit him. And then we want the base mesh to have the same anim BP. Okay, and we don't need any of this because we set it up on our character. And then you can give them a faction if you want. I started an animal faction. If you don't give them a faction, they're neutral. So then when you go and attack them for the first time, that'll trigger them. You don't have to add a trigger set or change that. You need the ability configuration. Okay, so this is the one that I changed for my animals. So if we get the default, first one wrong, didn't I? I don't think I need this right now. We'll just remove that and see what happens. So this one, okay, and then in here, this needs to be a narrative instance if you didn't already do that. Let's see. So this is properly set up. This is properly set up. And all I've got left is to set up the behaviors. So you'll come into your anim graph, class defaults, and you'll see tagged anim sets. We have none right now. So make this one your attacks unarmed light. And then we'll do an attack unarmed heavy. And then we'll do the flinch forward, left, and right. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay, so we got all of those. And then in here, you're gonna wanna add your attacks. You can come down here and grab, past it. So go to your narrative folder, anim, set, and then you'll see all of these right here. Unarmed melee, that's what they have for the first two, and then your flinches. So I'm gonna grab this one, the flinch forward, left, and right. Copy those, and then come back over here to my folder. Drop those in there, and we're gonna rename them. I was gonna do that, but I don't ever use that. Forgot to add anim set mega spot. You don't have to do this. I'm just trying to keep it so that when I go in, I can easily find all my stuff and it stays organized. Because the more stuff you add, the more you get lost. That was the wrong button. So make these, and then we're coming in here, and we're gonna open it up. And you'll see they have the punch left and the punch right. So you'll want to come back to your animations. And then let's see. Spitting tag, hit back, hit front. So these are the stumbles that we're gonna use. The idle, left claw, left smash, left smash, claw, floor, smashing, smashing. So let's see what this one looks like. Well, of course, we can't see it, but I'm pretty sure that's the one we want. So we'll come out here and create an anim montage of it. And we'll open this up. And then what you're going to want to do when you make these anim montages for your attacks. Yeah, because that was left. So what you want for your attacks is to make sure that you add a notify right here. It's a notify state ANS attack animation. And wherever you are doing damage in this attack is where you want this state to start and end. So, obviously I'm guessing because I can't see this animation, but I think it's about there. And I'm going to copy that so that I can add it to the next one. So then we want the right claw attack. Create anim montage. And I will fix this up later, put it in the exact right spot. I think it's about there. Okay, so then we got attack left and right on our lights. And then while we have this one clicked, we'll add that right there. And then on the heavy attack, I'm only going to do one for the heavy attack right now. Although I do have two. I might do two. Okay, so we got the left and right. Go ahead and click on this. And then our flinches. So flinch forward. I don't think I made this many on my person. Well, so we'll come back to those. We'll make sure that the rest of this works, and then we'll do those, because that's a lot of those to stick in there. Okay. And then we've got that, we've got that. Okay, so the last thing that we should need. Oh. Yeah, here we go. So this is where you would change the value, like their health. And then right here, we need the punch unarmed. So it wasn't the attack itself. this one, because this is where you define. So not this one, this one. This is where you define your slots on your character. So right here, hand R and hand L. If you don't have those sockets on your character, then it's not gonna work. And simple enough, this character doesn't have a hand L and a hand R, right? So what we have to do, okay, let's see, if we want let's see, leg left, fingers, where, middle, left. Let's look at this thing real quick. Set the visibility back. Alright, so it's got 6 legs, so we should look for front, maybe? Maybe it's got one that says front. Left leg front. And then the fingers. Is there a middle of the hand? Alright, so we're gonna go with this one. So copy this name. And then in your GA Melee Mega, so you want this for the left hand. And then we want to find the right hand, so foot, left, right. This one. Copy that. Paste it there. And then we want this to be in here. And I mean, he's not going to have a weapon, so he doesn't really need to reload or wield, but we'll leave him there. And he's not going to be blocking or dodging, but we'll leave that there too. Okay, so let's see what happens. I think we accomplished most of it. So I can just pull this guy out right here. And we'll click play. Okay, and clearly that didn't work. And the question is, why didn't that work? Okay, well, he didn't spawn the first time because he didn't have enough space. And he is moving. The question is, why can't we see him? Oh, unclick that. Okay, so he's moving, but he's not walking. Why is he not walking? His attacks work. He chose to attack me. His hand's not working. I gotta do a different socket, it looks like. Because that socket's not connecting. And I bet you he's not walking because, let me check my animations. Okay. So check this idle animation, and it doesn't have a group on it. Why does it not have a group? Nope. It's only because I'm making a video. If I wasn't making a video, it would have worked. I guess let me add this to begin play and see if that changes anything instead. I don't like that he's not on the ground, but that's my fault. But he should be walking. Oh. So right here, see where it says speed 0? We made a speed variable and I didn't plug it in. Let me go back over here. You gonna walk somewhere? Or you just gonna be idle now that I fixed it? Okay, so then in here where he does his attacks, like the claw attack left, if we change this to enable root motion and this one to enable root motion, that's so that was left and right, then he won't be able to walk when he tries to hit you, so it'll look more natural. And I'll drop him down on the ground right after this. So he's not a bandit, so he didn't automatically attack me. But when you attack him, see, now he's not floating across the ground. And he tries to walk closer to me. And I gotta fix his hand not hitting me. But now he tries at least. And then we're getting caught on his collision, so I might need to change that a little bit.